I'm all right. How are you?
Have you filed your income tax returns yet?
No, I don't do my taxes.
Oh.
My mom does them for me.
Is Mom reliable?
My mom's very reliable,
That's right. Good. Now, would you like a steak dinner? Can we get you a nice, big, thick steak?
No, thanks, Dave.
Tell me a little bit about your name, if you don't mind. Leonardo DiCaprio. It is a very rhythmic, very poetic sort of sounding name. Very nice.
Well,
lovely
thank
name.
you. Thank you very
Is there a
much.
story about that? Your parents have something?
Actually, I do have a story about my name.
Let me hear it.
Well, the first time I got an agent, they thought my
How
name...
old were you?
I was about 6 years old, 7 years old.
You got an agent at 6
Well,
years old?
I tried to get an agent,
Right.
but I didn't succeed because they wanted to change my name to Lenny Williams. They thought my name was a little too ethnic, so they sort of dissected it and said, hey, Leonardo, Lenny. My middle name's Wilhelm, so they changed that to Williams.
Well, no, wait a minute. Let's get back to your given name again. Leonardo Wilhelm DiCaprio?
Yeah, that's my name.
Wow, that's a good one. That's great.
Thanks.
And why is it that your folks selected an Italian-sounding name and then a German-sounding name? And your
Well, my
last...
mother's German and my dad's Italian.
There you go. There's an answer for every story in this life. All part of God's great plan, isn't it? So when you were 6 years old, how did you get into show business? What were you were just like going to school, and then one day you said, I want to be in show business?
Well, the first time was actually on TV. I was on TV at about 3 years old. Have you ever seen Romper Room, that television
Are
show?
you kidding? Try and keep me away from Romper Room.
Well, it was my favorite show at the time, and I just absolutely loved the show, and I used to sing the songs at home and everything.
Let's hear one.
And, oh, God.
Come on.
It's too far away. I can't remember.
Come on, Wilhelm. Let's go, buddy.
So I went on Romper Room, right, and I was completely excited. They had a little circle, and they were all singing and dancing and stuff like that, but I was too excited to be on camera, so I was running up and slapping the cameras and stuff like that and screaming and looking inside the camera. Tried to pull my mom on stage, and then finally I was too much to handle, so they completely kicked me off
You were
the show.
86. You were tossed. You were adios.
I was adios.
And were you crestfallen? You must have been crushed when you got bounced off Romper Room.
No. I was.
Really?
I saw myself on television. I was just like.
You went crazy.
Yeah, neurotic. It was beautiful.
That happens to me almost every night right here.
Are you really that excited?
Yeah, I see. Oh my God! I saw the film you did with Robert De Niro and Ellen Barkin, This Boy's Life. Mm-hmm. That was a great, and forgive me if this is the wrong term, but it was a small sort of film. It wasn't a huge budget with chase scenes and space.
It made about $8 million, I think. It was.
But it was a very nice piece of work, is what I was trying to say, based on a book. And I thought that the interaction between you and De Niro was especially entertaining. I mean, that was very interesting to watch. Was it a good? Did you have a good relationship with him with the film?
I did. Bobby De Niro was great.
You called him Bobby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bobby
You're in show business now, pal.
Robert De Niro was great. I remember a scene we were doing, actually. That's my mom, played by Ellen Barkin. And Ellen found this so hilarious.
He's got something he does with the lighter.
He pops it open, does his whole thing. And Ellen, as soon as she saw Robert De Niro do this, she started cracking up immediately. And the whole set was in hysterics. And towards like the 25th take, I got a little agitated because I was usually one that was like getting the laughs around set. So I stand up and I go, guys, can we be a little more professional here? You're laughing all the time. I got things to do. I was a bit of a smart ass. I was 16 years old. I learned my lesson. And Bob takes me aside and he goes, there's a certain line, with the jokes. He goes, you shouldn't cross that line because sometimes you can't get back.
That's right. That's right.
So I sit there and I come back in my chair and my heart is like down to my butt and I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
Whew, did I mess up? And
that's the reason you'll never be back on Romper Room. It goes on your permanent record.
So 2 takes later, they nailed the scene, and I never actually figured out if he was really angry with me or if he wanted to just change the tempo. I have a feeling it was a little of both. But he forgave me for it, actually, at the end.
Good.
He took me out, and we had a bunch of pies and stuff.
Now, you talked about Romper Room and how you were tossed off and nearly arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was like your first legitimate acting role as a kid? Did you want to be an actor, or did you folks just say,
I wanted to be an actor for a long time, definitely. My first dramatic, real drama was on The New Lassie. And I think we have a clip of that. But I remember that...
I'm supposed to be the one that tells the people that we have the clips. How would you know anything about our clip inventory? That's my responsibility. When we have a clip, I turn to the camera and I say, we got a clip, don't we?
Well, anyway, the funny thing about Lassie was Fox commercial, which is unbelievably hard to do. I forget the line, but I kept on. It had something to do with cheese. And I had to say it about 100 times. I forgot what it was, though. I wish I could remember.
Yeah. Were you ever amazed at the amount of recognition that you got from the commercials?
I don't know how much recognition I've gotten from commercials, but I did. It was my first start. I did them for about a year before I got my first TV show, and then from there, I just worked really hard.
Yeah. A question about being on location. I remember traveling across Eastern Europe, and I missed drinking Dr. Pepper desperately. When you were on location in Thailand, what were the things that you missed the most from back home?
That's a good question. I missed the Lakers a lot. That's what I missed. I missed seeing them live, watching games. That was the main thing that I missed. But doing the film was such an unbelievable experience. I love going off on locations and doing films. It's such a learning. You learn about different cultures.
So let's talk about you. We were just talking during the break. You had an amazing fundraiser, and you sold art for your environmental foundation. What is the name of it?
It's called LDF, and we kind of focus on protecting, endangered species and their ecosystems. So, coral reef systems, jungles that are home to sort of top predators, sharks, tigers, things like that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you're doing that, and you're protecting sharks. It's I think when people are afraid of anything, whatever it is, a person or an animal, when you don't understand it and you're afraid of it, we feel like we must destroy it, And sharks are amazing creatures.
Absolutely. They're the top of the food chain. And 90% of them have sort of been eliminated from the oceans. But, the truth is that these things have no voice, and only 2% of philanthropy goes towards environmentalism, which is, microscopic compared to the benefits that it gives us. So, my whole goal with that auction was to really try to isolate some of these places and protect them for all time. That's my goal.
And you had an encounter with a shark?
Yeah, a few.
But didn't one get in? Weren't you in a cage or something and it got in there?
When I work with these NGOs, these nonprofit organizations, you kind of go on the ground, you see what's happening. I did a whole excursion where I went to Nepal and went on elephant back and looked for tigers. Of course, for 4 days I was there, didn't see a single tiger. They blend into the jungle, and the elephants sort of go up on their hind legs and they react to a tiger being there, but you can't actually see them. And then I went to...
The truth is that I remember saying, as a very young kid, I want to become an actor.
This is a chunk of super soft bubble yum bubblegum.
And that's single-mindedly what he did, scoring his first roles in a number of commercials.
But all the yum is the fun that never blows out.
Arnie!
He then learned the ropes on television shows.
Hey! I'm going higher than before!
Before making a break into feature films.
And I will do kill you.
And just said to myself, one day, hopefully, I'll try to do something as good as these great heroes that I want to emulate.
Many child actors do go on to become cautionary tales. They get caught up in booze, drugs.
I think that it's never been something that I've gravitated towards, really. I think I've gotten to be able to pursue my own dream, and it's something that I have a great amount of respect for. So that's been really my main focus. The truth is that I remember saying